Hi, I'm Heather Telford. Thanks for joining me as I make some cards using the Penny Black brushstroke stamp Bauble Beauty. Bauble Beauty is a pretty large stamp, but I want it on a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to have it just hanging off the side there. And I'm not going to stamp the base. So that will give me a little more scope to trim the panel if I want to. I'm going to be working with water-soluble inks today, dye inks, and I'll start with some distress inks. That was Rustic Wilderness. This is Pine Needles, slightly different green. And some blue, Faded Jeans. You can tell I'm just dabbing this all over. A little bit of vintage photo for the trunk. And I'll just wipe that off the base there. You can see that it's not perfectly inked because I'm going to get the water to do some of the work for me. I'm just spraying to get those inks to start moving around. Again, I'll just wipe that off. So this one has blended beautifully, but is very wet in the middle. So I'm not going to get all those little baubles as distinct gaps. That's okay. I'm going to do a couple and show you the different effect. But while this is still wet, I'm going to blend the little bits that didn't blend with the water. And I am so happy with this choice of colors. The two greens and the blue just working perfectly together. I'm not quite sure what's meant to be there. That's better. A little more definition. And as I said, I didn't get all the baubles. There are a few that are showing up. I'll leave those. And you'll see how I deal with that later. Okay, quite a dry bit just there. Let me just move some of that ink. That's good. A little bit of blending down here. A little bit of the brown blended into the base of the tree. I don't mind that. Makes it look a little more realistic. Basically, I'm just blending the ink that's there to fill the tree shape. Let's do another one and let that one dry. Okay, this next ink that I'm going to use is what I fondly call the magic ink. It's Memento Northern Pine. It's also a dye ink that reacts with water. I'm going to actually just put it along the surface of the ground there too, and still add a little bit of brown, because you don't have to leave the ground out of the image. I'm going to go with the Pearlescent just for a little bit of shimmer. So what I like about Northern Pine ink is that it breaks into different colors when it's wet. So you can see the brown on the tree. Sorry, I just gave myself away. You can see the green on the tree already, but the other color that is starting to appear because of the added water and the blending is like a pinky brown. And you also often get a blue. I don't know whether I'll get it this time. I'm getting an aqua sort of blue. Sometimes you get a slightly darker blue. But the reason I call it the magic ink is because you get these blue tones, green tones, and brown tones from one ink. So I'm essentially doing the same process as I did with the other cards where I smooshed on 3 different color inks, and this time I just applied one and I'm still getting a bunch of different colors. Now you have to blend straight away. With Memento ink, it doesn't reactivate with water once it's dry, like the Distress inks would. Okay, now for this ground here, just to soften that, I'm going to run the paintbrush right along the edge there, so it'll move some of that green. It's also bringing down some of that brown. I think that's kind of pretty. So if we were in Canada, that might be snow, but in Australia, when we went to get our Christmas tree from the Christmas tree farm, it was summer and there was definitely no snow on the ground. Okay, one more. While the camera was off, I dried these, and I'm going to start painting with some pearlescent paint. This is from Finetec, and I've just put a little bit of water in this pinky red and in this gold. There's no reason why you can't put a ball wherever you like. You don't have to follow where they are on the stamp. You can do fewer or more. It's up to you. You could also do them with a gold gel pen or paint pen. Now, because the pinks have shown up so nicely from the Magic Northern Pine ink, I'm going to use the pinky red pearlescent paint for the balls on this one. If you haven't used these pearlescent paints before, you have to add water, let it soak in a bit, and then just mix it till it's like a paste. You don't want it too runny because then it'll be transparent. Unless that's what you're after, but I don't want these to be transparent. I want them to be opaque. So this one was the first one, and there was enough water to fill in a lot of the tree. So basically, I'm going to freestyle this one as far as the balls are concerned. This time, just for fun, I'm going to use this silvery white. Won't show up as much, I guess, but let's just see what it does. Okay, I'll let them dry and show you the finished cards. I cut all the panels out with rectangle dies and then ran them through my die cutting machine with an embossing folder that gives it a bit of a linen canvas look, and then added penny black sentiments. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this technique. Maybe you'll give it a try with one of your tree stamps. Check out my blog for more details and take a look at other videos on my YouTube channel. See you again.